So we'll work on this image. So first of all, we are going to create a duplicate copy of it by pressing Ctrl J, Command J, and then we'll right click and select convert to smart object. That way we would be able to edit it anywhere, and if suppose later on we find that we have done something wrong or we want to make some changes, we can easily do that with this smart object. I'll show you in a moment. So first of all, we'll go to the filter and select the camera raw filter. You can simply press Ctrl Shift A or Command Shift A if you are using Mac, and that would launch the camera raw. This feature is available only Adobe Photoshop CC. If you are using the earlier version, you might not have the camera raw option. Alright, so first of all, let me press the auto first. Let's see what auto does. Auto has, you can see, fixed some highlights. You can see there was highlights which were blowing up her face and some skin. So now what we are supposed to do, will increase the clarity a little bit, +8, and come over here on this sharpening panel and we'll press Alt or Option and drag this masking slider something like this, where we see the edges, so that the sharpening is only applied to the edges, and increase the sharpening to something like this. And then we'll increase the noise reduction luminance panel, which is over here, and that makes the skin little bit smoother. You can see earlier it was having some grains, and if we increase this, it makes it smooth. Okay, so we don't need to apply any skin smoothing, but if you want, you can do that as well. And then we'll come over here on the lens correction. Okay, nothing is here because this is not the raw file, this is JPEG, and link to download this file is in the description section below. Go and check that out and download and follow along. And let's come to the HSL panel, and in the HSL panel, go to the luminance and increase the luminance of red, orange and yellow, and that would make the skin even more fair or brighter. And let's come to the hue, and in the hue we have the green hue, so we'll click and drag it to, let's say, something like this, or let's bring it to this side. And aqua, let's take it towards this side, aqua side, aqua towards the blue side. You can see over here in the dress, so you can see over here on her dress the green, this aqua is affecting. So let's make it something like this, towards the aqua. All right, towards the blue, it's looking good, and the blue towards the aqua. So we'll click and drag this slider towards the blue. All right, and let's come to the calibration panel, camera calibration, and over here we have the blue primary, so we'll drag towards this side, aqua side, and increase the saturation a little bit, and in the green we'll drag it to this aqua side as well. So let's try it, or maybe something like this, we can drag it to this way as well. Okay, so let's make it towards the warmer side and increase its saturation something like this. And then red primary, let's drag it to something like this, so that we get the good amount of perfect maybe skin tone. And let's try with the shadows. It's not affecting, it's not working, so we'll just double click it and it would be on its default position. So we'll come to the basic panel and let's bring down its temperature towards something like this, towards the blue side, and you can see we have got that magical cyan color inside this image. And if we'll press P on our keyboard, you will see this is the before and this is after we have applied all the adjustments, and thereafter we'll press the OK. And you can see now it is looking much better. And now we'll you can see I have told you that we have converted it to the smart object, and the benefit of smart object is this, that here you have the smart filter. So we have applied the camera raw filter, so if we just double click it, it is going to open up the camera raw filter once again, and then we can make any changes if we want, and we can do those changes and we can come back. But I'm not going to do this, so I'll cancel it and I will get this kind of a result. So you can see this is before and this is after, and now we are going to apply some vignette effect to this. So we'll come down over here on this black and white circle, which is right over here, and we'll double click it or click here over once, and then we'll select the gradient. And in the gradient we have to select this black to transparent gradient. If it is not over here, click on this gear icon and let's select this one where it is pastels. I think pastel is this append. No, it's not pastel, so it's I think neutral density. Okay, it's append. Yes, it's neutral density, and you have to select this one, which is black, more black, and let's on this side it's transparent, and we'll press OK. And then we will change its style from linear to the radial, and we'll change it to the reverse, and you can see, and then we can click and drag it on the face, and then we will increase its scale. So let's drag it to something like this so that it spreads everywhere, and thereafter we'll press OK, and we will lower down its opacity maybe little bit, something like this, and select this mask and come over here, select the brush tool, and make sure the brush is the soft edge brush with 0 hardness, and let's opacity to be 100%, and make sure on this side this is a black color, and we will paint on the face so that this effect is removed from the face, right, or from the model. So we have got the vignette effect around the corner but not on the model, right? So we are going to quickly save this image. Oops, okay. And thereafter there is one more thing we will do. So we'll come to the adjustment layers over here, and we will select this color lookup table. This is color lookup, so we'll select this filter, and from this preset 3D LUT LUT, and we'll select the 2 strip look, and that's going to give it a look of something like this. And then we'll change its layer blend mode from here to the color, okay, and then we will lower down its opacity, maybe something like this. Okay, and now she's looking over here, and it shows that she is looking at something, so we'll try to put something over here. Let's see what we can put over here. So we are going to put this bird over here, so let's see how it looks. So let me resize this, make it smaller, something like this, and place it over here. I think I need to make it even more smaller, so something like this, and I'm going to put this or place enter and zoom in, and let's place it something like here. Oops, I don't know why I'm not able to move this. Okay, my RAM is out, so I need to purge my memory for this purpose. Let's see. Alright, so now I can place it maybe something like this, and there is some problem over here, so let me remove it from here. So I'll select the eraser tool and okay, press OK, and make the size smaller and remove this from here. So these are some pixels which are here, so I'm just painting it. Okay, so now we have placed this bird successfully over here, and we need to put some shadows over here on her hand. So we'll create a new blank layer by clicking over here by pressing Ctrl or Command. So that way it is going to create a layer under it. Okay, and then we will take the brush tool, again the soft edge brush with 1% opacity this time, 10% opacity, sorry, and we'll take the black color and we will paint some shadows over here, something like this on her hand, so it looks like that she is actually there, or this bird is actually there. Okay, and press Ctrl G to zoom out to see, and I think we have overdone it. Alright, so you can see that we have just painted some shadows, but these shadows are too much, so we'll lower down its opacity something like this, so that there is a hint of the shadow, not that much. Alright, so this is looking much better. Let me see by turning this on and off. Alright, so this is now good, and let me put some particles or some magical particles so that it looks even more magical. And I'm going to place one light over here. So let's first place the light. So we'll create a new blank layer and we'll choose the brush tool, and this time soft edge brush with 100% opacity, and we'll pick the color this orange from here, and we'll make the size of the brush something like this, and we'll paint here once or twice, and then we'll press Ctrl T, Command T, and by pressing Alt and Shift we'll scale it, and that way it's going to scale from the center. And we are going to make it something like this and press this check mark, or you can press enter, and then we'll come over here and change this layer blend mode to, let's say, linear dose. How it looks? Okay, linear dose is looking good, and we'll press the V to select the move tool, and let's reposition it maybe something like here, and we will lower down its opacity because it's going to be too bright. We don't want that much brightness in it, and it's going to look even much better over here. And now let me add the texture or some kind of a magical particles, and you can download these resources as well from the link in the description section below. So let me find my magical texture or particles. Where is it? Alright, so I've got it, and let me place it over here and resize it. Oops, let me resize it to fit the image, and press enter, and change this layer blend mode to the screen, and that way we will get lots of particles, and we don't want that much of particles because that looks ugly. So we'll press Ctrl L or Command L to open up the levels command over here, and then we'll click on these sliders to adjust its brightness. So we'll click and drag it so that we get little bit of particles but not that much, and we can make them even brighter if we want to, and then we'll press OK, and you can see now we have got these particles, and this looks much better. And now we need to press Ctrl J or Command J to have a duplicate copy of it, and thereafter we are going to press Ctrl Alt or Control or Command or Option, and with mouse we are going to make it smaller something like this, and then we'll press Ctrl T to get the transform options, and then we are going to make it larger something like this so that we get some large particles as well. So if we'll zoom in, you will see now we have got some large particles as well, and the smaller as well. And now we are going to select both of these layers by pressing Shift and clicking on both the layers. Thereafter we'll press Ctrl G, Command G to have a duplicate copy, or make them group together. Sorry, not duplicate copy, group them together. And thereafter we'll press over here on this mask icon to create a mask, and we'll choose the brush tool with the black color, and this time with the 100% opacity, let's say, and we are going to paint on the face of this lady so that it removes from her. So we are not going to remove everything but little bit, so that this magical spread is everywhere but not on herself. And then we'll lower down its opacity, maybe something like this. Alright, and we can even remove from the around corner or from the edges, and with the low opacity, something like this, 30% opacity. I'm just removing it. Alright, so now you can see that how much better it looks this way. And now the final adjustment. For that purpose we'll go to the adjustment layer and select this color balance adjustment over here, and we have three options. So we have the mid-tone, shadows and highlights, and then we have all these sliders. So we'll adjust them and get the look we want. So first of all, we'll work on the mid-tone, and let's add a little bit cyan, and let's say a little bit something like this, and over here yellow, and in the shadows let's add even more cyan and green little bit, and let's say blue, something like this. And then we have the highlights, and in the highlights we'll add some cyan or red, maybe something like this, and magenta, and let's see. All right, on the yellow side it's looking much better, and you can see the difference by turning this on and off. And this is our final result. So let me select all of these and press Ctrl G. So we have all the edits over here. So press F on your keyboard to see the full screen. And now if you want, you can do the sharpening, but we don't need, we have already applied the sharpening on this image.